Something good is gonna happen to me. Something good is gonna happen to me. I don't need all the answers, I just need belief. Becoming who I'm called to be. Making impact bigger than me. God first, doubt steps back. When it gets heavy, we figure it out. You're not here by accident. You're part of the story. Stepping strong, stepping faith. Let's get your mindset right.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. Happy Tuesday. David, good seeing you again, brother. Good morning to you. For the Latrice, Kevin, for those of you, Sherry, that I saw on the prayer call. If you haven't been on our prayer call and you want to be reminded on the prayer call, put your email in the chat. We'll put you in our Google Calendar. So that way you get notified 7:30 on Tuesdays if you are interested. I lead prayer Monday or on Tuesdays at 7:30. And so just if you are interested, put your email in the chat and we will make sure we add you to my Google Calendar. While you're doing that, put good morning in the chat. Put good morning in the chat. Shout out to Chet yesterday, brother. Great job. Great message yesterday. Well received. And thank you so much for showing up on a holiday. So we appreciate you. For those of you taking notes, the topic today is consistency is the key to success. Consistency, the key to success. So good morning to you all. Good morning to you. My name is Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, DAD, recovering golf ball in the head survivor. It's been an interesting week. It has been an interesting week. Christian sent me a nice message and I was like, it was a challenging week. He sends me, he's like, what was challenging about it? I was like, well, if you really want me to tell you some of my stuff, he's probably like, I should not have asked that question. But yeah, it's been one of those weeks, but very thankful at the same time. You know, I always pray for strength and endurance. And I think, Dusty, the reason what has to happen is you got to be pushed to the nth degree in order for God to make you stronger. I'm a truly believer of it, that he does all these things to help you. Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. The new book title, Golf Ball. Yes, yes. Tiffany, we will definitely add you to our prayer call on that. So this morning's message is one that I have been reading quite some time. One of the posts or one of the quotes, I guess I will share with you, and then I'll get into our affirmation and that sort of thing, but is literally motivation gets you started, but it's the discipline that keeps you going. And I think that's a huge ingredient that takes place on starting things. So I got let's see, about 9 things that I'll be sharing with you today, and then 2 questions at the end. Excuse me. And then a big announcement. I got a special guest coming in on June 1st, which is next Monday. That somebody who's helped me out tremendously, that I've asked him to come on the show. So we'll save that for the end for my announcement that I'll have on that. So, but let's get into our affirmation. So Jay, if you could put up the affirmation while we're doing that, go find your mute button, unmute yourself. It's a Tuesday. It's a little bit slow because we missed out on Monday. We had to spend a little extra weekend time. So let's shake the cobwebs off. Let's get ourselves together. Let's really feel it. Take yourself off of mute, off of mute, off of mute. And on the count of three. Christian's still on mute, but that's all right, Christian. I'm looking at you. I know he's gonna come up with something really big at the very end. On the count of three, let's all say it together on the count of three. 1, 2, and 3.
Something
Something
good
good
is
is
going
going
to
to
happen
happen
to
to
me.
me.
Something
Something
good
good is going
is
to happen
gonna
through me.
happen through me.
Through me. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what the hell a golf ball hit my head. Something good's gonna happen through me on that. I don't know. At the time, I had no clue. And Michelle, what transpired over the week, I feel was taking shape. And the I said it the other day in reference to showing up. And I don't say showing up for any reason except to lead by example. That's the best thing I could really say to anybody. It's just leading by example. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about intentionality versus committed towards the end. But it's very easy to say to people, I show up, but when shit happens, it's just like, and I use it as a compliment because, like, of course, my mom, Brock, you need to rest. You can't be doing this. You have a concussion. You can't do this, Brock. You need to lay down. Like I must have, like my mom. This is the benefits I was telling Christian because his family moved next to him, and I was telling him having family next to you is kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like it's great because when you need them, but at the same token, do you understand? My parents are retired. They have nothing else to do except come to my house every day. And they came to my house every day. Brock, how's your head? You shouldn't be in front of the computer. You need to be laying down. Brock, are you relaxing? Brock. I was like, Mom, I am. Did you put your ointment on? I was like, yes, Mom, I put my ointment on. I did. And I love them to death. I truly do. But here's the thing, oh. It's they want to keep you comfort. They want to keep you in a bubble. They want to make sure you're okay. They don't want anything to happen. Like Jackie over there with her little ones. Like you're gonna do whatever it takes. I'm the same way with my kids. I was just like, all right, let me make sure you're okay. Let me make sure this and but at the same token, I want to live by being a leader, saying I show up no matter what. I didn't even tell the people when I had my podcast that Tuesday night at 7. I didn't want to tell them that I nailed my head with a golf ball because guess what they would have told me? You don't need to be here. You need to take it easy. You don't need we will figure it out. And I don't want that. I'm looking at Jack over here because Jack, I've been following you, Jack, and I've been hearing your stuff and runs an amazing real estate business. And every time I've talked to the guy, he's like, we're figuring out, we're busy as ever, we're busting it at the seams, we're going crazy. But guess what? Jack's still here. I still see him on Facebook. I still see him showing up. Some of you, your business might suck right now. It might be god awful. You're still showing up this morning. Things aren't going the way you want it to. And to me, last week meant to me is I need to be consistent. I need to be committed in showing up. And I told the guys that Tuesday night, I said, I probably can give you about an hour. And see, why you have a trainer with you, Jada, why you have somebody who's accountable. Jada texts me every morning. David's been texting me in the morning. Jackie, D, like there's several of you who text me. You keep me accountable. Fran, Latrice, because you still have to show up no matter what takes place. Now, did I sleep in? Yes. I had to sleep more to get this concussion situation taken care of, but you still show up. You still come with commitment because it's easy not to, and it easy is both ways you can make a choice. I can and I can't. We all get that option every single day. And so when I wrote down these things about consistency, there's different aspects to it. And the first part of consistency that I wrote down is the results don't show up immediately. So that was my first bullet point. Results don't show up immediately. This thing on my head over here was not going to immediately go away. It wasn't going to recover as fast as I wanted it to recover. It was going to take time. The best thing to share with you is like when you go to the gym. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But when you go to the gym, you just have to show up every single day in some capacity, in some way. You cannot be like, you know what I'm going to do, Jackie? And Jackie, hats off to you, lost, I believe, over 100 pounds or 80 pounds, something like ridiculous. And like, hats off to you. Round of applause. Give her a five, everybody. It's hard. It's hard to do that stuff because you have to show up consistently every single day at the dinner table on what you eat, going to bed, drinking your water, going to the gym, doing those type of things. Yeah, she looks great. It's hard. But here's the thing. You can't be like, all right, and Chet's a numbers person. You can't be like, all right, now if I go to the gym every hour, but I just don't want to do it every single day. So what I'll do is on Saturdays, I'll just go to the gym for 8 hours on Saturday to make up for the whole week. Would that plan work? Probably not. But we try to do that in our real world of situations. We try to be like, okay, I got this going on for I did it for 2 weeks. I should be all in shape now. The results don't show up immediately. And that is why you have to stay consistent. Now, number two is consistency beats intensity. The intensity has to be there as well. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. You can't just go to the dentist twice a year and be like, you know what? My teeth are solid. I got some really good teeth. I go to the dentist twice a year. I haven't met anybody. All right, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe somebody on here does it. I don't know, John Hart. You know, we meet a lot of different people. Maybe somebody on here only brushes their teeth when they go to the dentist twice a year. How many of you like really brush, floss, and you like get your teeth all cleaned up before you go to the dentist? Like, I don't want the dentist to rip me a new one. I don't want them. Like, I just better brush my teeth a little extra harder today. I'm going to the dentist. Honey, you've been really brushing your teeth a lot. Well, that's because I got a dentist appointment on Wednesday. So I figured I probably need to get myself really, we get really intentional before the commitment date of what we got to do. It happens all the time when we go on vacation. All of a sudden, we freaking bust our ass all week. I'm going on vacation on Saturday. I got to do this. I got to pack. I got to get myself together. Got to get the house. Like, where is that intensity sometimes throughout the year? I mean, we prove ourselves that week before vacation. We can do it, but we struggle with the consistency on that. Number three, you have to start small, then grow. Start small, then grow. I see it happen many times when I watch people usually aerate their yard. And when they aerate their yard, they do the entire yard and they just like, this is the year I'm going to make my yard look really good. They've never done it ever, but all of a sudden they're going to take on this task of aerating their entire yard, overseeding it, putting fertilizer on it, and doing all this stuff to their yard. And then all of a sudden, oh damn, I don't have an irrigation system. I gotta water this entire yard. I don't even have enough hoses. You're telling me I got to move the hose from the back to the front to the side. I can't even get to this area over here. Start off small. Maybe just do the front of your house to start off first. Be like, you know what? I'm going to work on the front. And when I get the front down and I do a good habit of watering, I don't make fun of this guy, but I do make fun of this guy. Like there's this gentleman, and Bryce and I, every time I go to his school, he put a brand new yard down, and I I shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. But I saw him putting the hay down. He did it this spring. I looked at it. I said, Bryce, I said, how much do you want to bet that this guy's yard he will not have grass? And he's like, well, why do you say that, Dad? I said, because he's watering his grass in his work clothes. So it's kind of like his behavior was that I'm going to try to get out here and water my grass with my hose before I go to work. And I'm going to try to do this really quickly. Needless to say, it's dirt still. And this was about a month ago. And yes, I know we had a drought, which means you even have to be more cautious of when you do timing. So you got to get out there. You got to get up earlier. You got to get a sprinkler and you got to water it every single day. But sometimes our behaviors and our habits aren't consistent enough because we're trying to fit it in. How many of us are trying to fit something in our morning routine? Shout out to David. Because David wanted to get up early because he wanted to do more things in his work. He's like, I got to get up a little bit earlier to do it. He didn't say to me, Brock, I'm going to get up the same time and try to do more work in the morning. He said, no, I have to get up earlier to do what I need to do. We sometimes forget that when we don't adjust our timing, our consistency is going to lack. We have to allow time. So it's very important for those of you who are trying to do something that you allow timing to take place. The number 4 I wrote down, motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going. This is John Maxwell. The law of consistency. Write that down. The law of consistency. You just create a new coaching opportunity. How to water lawns. It is. I tell people all the time, like before you start a garden, before you do anything, like you got to understand the watering and the time you're going to water the grass. Anyways, motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Many times I listen to motivational music. It gets me fired up. I'm listening to it. But guess what? Just like at 8:45, 8:50 today, what are you going to do? What's on your schedule? It's the discipline that you have every single day. That is why I was adamant that I was going to show up. Thursday is my coaching day. There's a lot of close family members who told me to not go on Thursday and to take Thursday off. Why? It's because coaching is a lot of mental, and I had a mild concussion. And they're like, you shouldn't be in front of a computer, and you shouldn't be using your brain and thinking and everything else. You need a rest. And I'm thick-headed, and I didn't rest. I was fine. I just iced it. I asked several people, like, do you mind if I ice my head while I'm doing this? But it's the showing up part. It's the consistency part of day in and day out doing what you need to do. Now, I love this line here. Number 5 was successful people do consistently what others do occasionally. I'm going to say that again. Successful people do consistently what other people do occasionally. See, success is not luck. It is a behavior. And so my question becomes, how does your behavior? Jada's behavior in the morning, and I just kind of look at people when I'm seeing this. Jada's behavior in the morning is between usually 5:45 and 6 o'clock. I'll get a text message from Jada. What up, broski? Good morning. What are you doing? How's your night? He sends me a check. He has a behavior and now a habit that happens repeatedly. And that's the key ingredient, is what are you doing over and over and over again? So yesterday, I'm not going to say names, but you're going to find this happen in the next couple weeks. Why? Is because people are walking around without their basically clothes on. They have bathing suits on. And they are finally, they already know what they look like because they see themselves consistently in the mirror. But it's when you get in front of other people that all of a sudden, I gotta start losing weight. I gotta start trimming down. Brock, what are you doing? What I did yesterday was I just decided to not eat, and today I look like this. No, it was a decision I made in February to be able to have myself healthy and look the way I want, just like Jackie did, is that you decided you made a commitment to be able to do this, just like it is in real estate right now. People will bitch, whine, and complain starting in August saying that they have no money if they haven't already. Why? Is because they don't want to show up and do the work that they need to do. This is going to be, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just trying to share with people that these next 3 months, I feel, are going to be one of the challenged real estate markets we've seen. Okay. The economy is terrible. And I say that nicely, but the economy is tough because even though the stock market be great, but if you figure out the percentage of people who own the stock that can pull it out, it's not very high. The challenge is the gas prices. How many of you put a 5 in the chat that you see? No, put a 4 in the chat that your gas per gallon begins with a 4 in front of it. How many of you got a 4 in front of your gas tank? How many of you got a 5 in front of your for a gallon of gas? How many of you go to the grocery store and you start to see like the fruit that I get my kids was normally $8.99. Now I saw it at $10.99. The gas, the groceries, these things are going higher. The interest rates are higher. I have several listings and they're just sitting there. Jackie, thank you for showing one of my listings. I'm waiting for your offer though. But the thing is like it's challenging. And we're going the whole month of July. Guess what? The entire country's on vacation. Nobody's at school. Everybody's going to be partying and playing, jacking up their credit cards. Where's my financial gurus? What is their credit card debt? Over some $1 trillion, highest it's ever been. Debt to income ratios, the highest it's ever been. These are all things that are going to take place. So how are you going to consistently show up? You can't occasionally make some phone calls. You can't occasionally be like, okay, I'm going to get in there and do a Facebook Live video. No, you have to do it consistently. Number 6, I wrote down, culture celebrates the moment, but not the process. I love the saying, I love my shirt that says, trust the process. Trust the process. See, we just celebrate just that moment, that snapshot that took place. We don't understand the process. So when people see me, they just know that the moment is, okay, Brock lost weight. Jackie lost weight. That is the moment that they have. And then all of a sudden they say, what do you do? How'd you do it? It was very strange. What I did is I watched what I ate and I did more cardio. Yes, I did some peptides, but you had the same choice. They're all natural. But I made a commitment, not intentional. I made a commitment. Some of us out here thinking we're making a commitment, but we're really being intentional. So I'll write this down for those of you writing questions down. Am I committed? Am I actually committed? Which leads me to number 7 is small things create big results. And then I wrote down, okay, where do I see this? Phone calls, working out, prayers, healthy meals, reading, meditation, showing up. Those small little things that if you do consistently will create big results. Write this down, the compound effect. The compound effect. Next one I wrote down is do not give up in the valley. Do not give up in the valley. Many of us have heard this saying, setbacks are for your set up. Setbacks are for your set up. Setbacks that take place are just setting you up for success. The problem is that we just don't make it far enough. We stop. We don't allow ourselves to go through the valley because all we're doing is looking up at the mountain and saying, damn, am I committed or do I need to be committed is my question. There you go, Sherry. I think the intentionality versus the commitment is such a huge thing. If you take anything away from today, is are you committed? And what is it? I wrote down these two questions for you. What is one small thing I commit to that I can commit to every day that will move the needle forward? Christian has his app, his financial app. If you're not on it, you should be because everybody bitches about money. And then I say, well, like, what are you doing to get yourself in a money position? How do you know your money? Know your money. Now, I'm going to share this picture because I'm about to push it out here because you'll see it on Facebook. So, but this is me in February. And Mike Castor used to think all the time that I was committed to the gym. And to be honest with y'all, I thought I was committed into the gym until I realized that my coach said to me, you need to take a picture of yourself every single day, every week. And I was like, that's stupid. That's stupid to do that. Why do I need to do that? And I said, my plan obviously is not working. So I want to ask yourself what plan that you have that you think is working. See, I thought I was in shape. I go to the gym every day. People would be like, I thought you go to the gym. I do, but I'm just intentional in the gym. I didn't become committed until I realized that my visceral fats were a little bit higher than what I wanted them to be. I didn't realize that I was carrying extra weight around because I was told on the outside noise that I was doing what I needed to do, that I was working out. I could tell, and I share, this is just being raw and real. I guarantee you all the financial people in here, when they go and they prepare a loan, or you say you're broke, or you say you're rich, or whatever your financial position is, they always say, please give us your what? Bank statements. We need to see your money. We need to see what you're doing. My coach made me give my bank statements. Why? Is because he saw consistency in what I spend, where I don't save. But you can tell a lot about people on their bank statements and on their calendar. And I wasn't consistent at the gym. I was intentional, but I wasn't consistent. How do you know what visceral fat is? Your visceral fats are the fats that are attached to your organs. And that's what causes a lot of heart attacks. I had no idea until I started to study visceral fats. All I cared about was the fats that were on the outside that people see, but there's fats on the inside that affect you. And my visceral fats were high. So 19 pounds later, the commitment, just like it is with and I'll conclude with this, just like it is with my summer camp. I had 3 people sign up for summer camp. I really don't care how many people signed up, but it's the commitment. Like, because I told him, I said, you'll be with me every single day for 1 hour. It's that commitment. Did you make your phone calls? What does your calendar look like? What are we going to do? Who are we going to talk to? Are we going to make some money today? What does that look like? Did you do like, it was Monday and I had note cards on my summer camp. So I do my note cards. I wasn't doing note cards before, but now I need to do note cards. Why? Is because summer camp has note cards. Summer camp moves the needle. Summer camp pushes yourself to do things you don't want to do. That's what it's all about. That's what working out and having a coach. And so I asked my coach, I said, Kyle, could you come on? Because I want people to know and take care of their bodies, take care of their health. We neglect our health. We neglect ourselves. And guess what, all? You only have one body. That's what this whole thing about my head was all about, was to help people take care of themselves and get themselves healthy. You only have one body. And when it's gone, God rest his soul and pray for him, Kyle Busch. I mean, he was a prime example. He had a sinus infection that just went the wrong direction. And how many of us had sinus infections? I'm not any different than any person on here, except I started to learn and be committed and be consistent. And that's what I want to help you do. So next on June 1st, you come on here. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. You can go for a walk. You can do little things to help you. Chet goes swimming. God, I'm impressed with Chet. He goes to the pool and swims. I'm like, damn. So that's all I got today. If you got something out of today, drop a 5 in the chat. It wasn't as crazy as I normally am, but I wanted just to share with y'all just being consistent and showing up in some capacity, in some way, whatever that might look like. If I can help you, if you're tired of playing small, the summer camp thing's once a week. If you didn't make it this week, come next week. Freaking do something. Move the needle, for crying out loud. Go walk for 25 minutes. Do something. Guys, I appreciate y'all being on here. Guys, we will be back tomorrow, Wednesday. No, yeah, geez, it's already Wednesday. We have Cullen coming up with us tomorrow on Wednesday, so come join us for Cullen. I appreciate y'all. If I can help you in any single way,
What was
reach
your
out
big
to me.
announcement?
What's that?
You had a big announcement you were going to give us.
Oh, that was my big announcement, John. I guess it really wasn't that big. The big announcement is my health coach is coming on Monday next week.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll have a special guest on Monday, and he's going to break down what I've been doing, how I've been doing it, and really he's been pushing me just like I push y'all. Like he pushes me, and so he's going to be the special guest. I had to. Jada was going to be our speaker, but it was the only time I can get my health coach on here. So I'm excited to have Kyle on here. And so, yes, he will be our special guest on Monday, June 1st. And for those of you on the prayer call, make sure you put your email in there. We'll add you to the calendar for that. All right, all. Have a great one. Apologize. Kept you guys 4 minutes late today.